everyone, and welcome to the Pottery Corner for another Top Tip Tuesday video. This one is entitled How to Make Your Own Texture Stamps for Your Pots. So how to make your own texture that you can then use again and again on your pieces rather than buying commercially made images that are used by other people. So if you make your own unique texture, then obviously it's unique to you and obviously unique to the way you use it. So I make quite a lot of bisque stamps which I have made from my own textured rollers. So this is one of my textured rollers that I have just carved into. And then, as I say, I make these kind of oblong, oval shapes, whatever, with different cutouts on them. And then what I do is when I'm doing my textured work, for instance, my wonky pots, I will use the texture from these actually on the pot. So you can see that this particular one is up here on this sort of like sun ray texture, and then this one here with the dots on it is made from this stamp. And I quite like that these have sort of like the roundels in the middle that don't have anything on them. So it gives you your own, as I say, your own unique texture that nobody else has got. And each combination is obviously different to the combination before. So they're really very useful in your work, and you can actually then just texture a whole slab like I've done on these platters, whereby I've used lots of stamps and then filled in the holes with other smaller stamps like these, for instance. So these I make, they're just made out of clay and then press the texture into the end. And I mean, you can make as many and numerous as you require. And then, as I say, they become your own unique texture rather than using ones that you have bought. So I make them obviously in clay. I make rollers, as I said. So I do make some rollers, which basically are just a slab made into a cylinder and then the texture's popped on from there. This one has got like a clematis design on it. So that one's quite intricate and looks really nice when it's actually out on a pot. And you could use it for a mug if you're making a handmade mug. The other thing that I use is Anaglypto Paper. So these are wallpaper samples that I've ordered online, and they're very cheap. In fact, most of the time they're free. And you can order these Anaglypto wallpaper samples in various different patterns. This one, for example, quite a nice sort of abstracty pattern on there. This one is nice. This one has herringbone pattern on. So again, you know, I mean, quite a cheap way of actually providing yourself with some texture that would be all your own, although obviously if somebody else did it from the Anaglypto. But basically all you do with that would be just to roll a roller over the Anaglypto paper like that, and that has just given you can see that on there, your own texture. And it's really very nice and easy to do, really easy. No difficulty in doing any of that. So for these, obviously I've cut out a disc and cut out a centre, and then I have carved them when they're leather hard. But I just wanted to show you that other than carving, obviously these have been carved with a carving tool such as this. This is a double-ended carving tool. But other things that you may have lying around just in the house or in your studio, or you know, just everyday things like these tubes, they're really good for just making a mark that you can then embellish with something else. Say for instance a piece of wooden dowel, you know, that will impress into the clay and you can just play with your own design and really quickly build up something that is rather nice. These are very good, these metal-ended, I don't actually know what they're used for, but I mean, they're very useful. You can buy them very cheaply online. And again, they make a nice texture on your work, different sizes. I'm just going to quickly show you how easy it really is. It takes minutes to form a design. And the other thing that I use are glass-headed sewing pins, and you can get these with different size heads, and I put them in a pencil rubber because obviously they're quite tiny, so they're really easy to use in the end of a pencil, and they make a lovely mark. And I use that one quite a lot because it's just tiny and easy to use. So in that couple of minutes that I've been speaking, I also use things like these chopsticks. This particular one has a square end and a smaller round end. And again, with this one, it has a round end and a square end. So those are really useful. Palette knives. You know, there's a lovely triangular texture on there. But my most favourite and easy of all the textures is this simple felt tip pen. And it has the most amazing texture on the end. And when you press it into the clay, it makes a lovely mark. And I'll just show you that. I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. Typical. I am sorry. Right, so those little bits that I've just done on here, as you can see, the different round marks from the different tubes and bits and pieces, and then this felt tip pen end, which is absolutely beautiful, and I've used it on this tile. And if you look on my work, when it's in the positive rather than the negative, it makes this lovely pattern on your work here. So really easy to do, doesn't cost very much money. You can also make textured rollers. So like for instance, this one has just been made out of clay, and then you can just roll it across your slab and it will make your texture. So good for rims or the bottom of things or whatever, and I have a few of those. This one is more shaped, so it kind of sort of pushes the clay up, which, you know, it's quite useful to have things that make different patterns on your work. So as I say, really easy to make. Then you just bisque fire them and then use them when they're bisqued. And as I say, when you use them on your work, they look great, these little things. And I use them in combination, as you can see. There's a stamped one there. So there was probably a little bit of a gap that I just needed to fill. So have a go at home yourselves. Really easy to do. And as I say, find some household stuff. I mean, most people have got sort of felt tip pens lying around. And as I say, that's a really, really good one. It makes a nice mark. So yes, I hope that's helpful for you. Have a look at the website because my work is on the online shop if you wanted to have a look at some detailed pictures of them. So the website is www.thepotterycorner.co.uk, and my Instagram page is the.pottery.corner, and the Facebook page is The Pottery Corner. So I'll see you next week for another Top Tip Tuesday. In the meantime, happy potting everyone. Bye for now.